trying to be better because I still call things gay a lot, but it's like, what else are you supposed to call it when the McDonald's ice cream machine is down?
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. This is Where Is This Going? A podcast about artists you may not know, but will hopefully soon at least appreciate, at the very least. You can follow the podcast. Just got to get these plugs out of the way at the beginning. You can follow the podcast on Twitter and at Where Is This GoPo, on Instagram at Where Is This Going Pod, and you can follow me on both of those platforms at _Hunter Miles. And welcoming our next guest, Kian Straub, stand-up comedian. Where's my applause? Do we not have our drops? It's all right. Yeah. It's all right.
Dev, we need you.
We didn't. Yeah. Where's your? Can you clap? Nope. His hands. There we go.
Thank you.
We have enough people in the studio. But yes, Kian Straub, stand-up comedian from Grand Rapids. Anyways, thank you for joining me in the studio today, bearing the hazardous conditions.
Is this you trying to say that it's cold out?
Yeah, it's good. No, I wasn't. Okay. I was just trying to say I was thanking you for coming out here.
Yeah, of course.
Are you really just trying to...
No.
You're trying to make me feed you your joke. Anyways.
It's not. Just moving on.
Yeah, thanks for weathering the conditions to get out here.
Yeah, conditioning the weathers and all that.
Yeah, appreciate you. It's a hazardous day. Anyways, yeah, let's stop talking about the weather,
please.
Kian, you are 24, 25. 25.
Yeah.
Did you just turn 25?
Sure.
Okay.
November.
Okay. Yeah. No, we celebrated your birthday. I remember.
Did we? I don't remember. You
really?
guys did come over. Yeah. You did.
Okay. 25 years old. Did you grow up in Grand Rapids?
No. Far from it.
Far from it. Where'd you grow up?
Houghton Lake.
Houghton Lake. But
Why'd you? I said Houghton Lake, and then you purposely said it different.
Because I've heard it pronounced differently.
It's Houghton Lake.
Houghton Lake, and it's Houghton. Okay.
Lake.
Houghton Lake.
Not Houghton, but Houghton Lake. There's two different things.
Okay, those are two different places.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying I was saying it wrong again.
No.
Anyways, Houghton Lake, is that up north? I would imagine.
It's
a lake.
It's not in the UP, but yes, up north.
Well, okay.
Houghton's in the UP. I'm just people get them confused. Okay.
Okay, but you're traveling on with this context that I don't understand. The subtext.
It's for the people listening.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm here.
Okay, you have people listen.
Okay.
No?
Yeah, I hope. Okay. No, I understand. So, Houghton Lake, is that? Let's just keep traveling on about up north Michigan cities. So, how was Houghton? Where is it? Where is it? Can you tell me?
Okay, it's 45 minutes north of Mount Pleasant.
Okay.
Yeah.
That gives me way better. Yeah. Why didn't you just say Mount Pleasant, just further north?
I'm sorry. Do you want to restart?
All right, run it from the top. No. Okay. Sometimes you do think you're too stoned to do things, and then you realize, maybe you are.
Yeah.
But we just let it run.
Okay.
You just let it
That's
run.
Fine.
Kian, you are the only trans comedian that I know. I know. We're just getting into it.
That's fine.
That's not what makes you unique. You're very funny.
The only thing unique about me.
Well, not anymore, because then with your transition, you'll become just another straight male comedian.
I mean, yes.
Just not cis? Is that the differential?
But also, I still talk about way more interesting things than most of them.
Than most straight white male comedians. Yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm half a straight white male comedian. I'll let you figure out where the half comes in there.
a black straight woman.
Half a black bi woman, but yes.
Okay.
Everything is fluid about me,
Yeah.
race included.
Okay.
So Houghton Lake, I picture up. The reason I bring the city back up is I picture
being trans from a small town. Is that what
yes,
you're getting at?
that's where I'm getting.
Yeah.
But just up northern Michigan in general.
Yeah.
I keep saying up north just because that's
I
how
get
people
you. Yeah,
speak.
that's
But northern Michigan in general, small town. When this feels like an odd, I shouldn't ask this question.
Just
so you
just
tell
say
me.
whatever.
But I was gonna say, when did you feel like you?
Well, it's.
Yeah.
I understand what you're getting at.
Yeah.
That's a difficult question to answer because it wasn't like when I lived there, I was just a straight female. Like I was never queer there.
Right.
So it was never like I don't know. I guess it played into it kind of because like things were said to me that made me not want to be queer down the line. But like,
right.
I would say that was like the extent of it. And going back is weird now, but I don't know. I still have a lot of friends from there, and the weird thing that I've come to realize recently, because I've been playing like video games online,
right, is
they're all still super racist, but like have more trans friends than I do, and I'm like, what?
That's
I don't. I'm still feeling confused about it.
Have you watched or listened to History Hyenas? Like, it's Chris Stefano and Giannis Papas, and they also say that like they joke around with like the left and right both. Like they jokingly lean right
to mess with
right.
The left. Yeah.
And funnily enough, they also say that they also have like the most trans listeners, but while being like playfully racist and things like that, which is interesting to see that play out in real life.
Yeah. So I'm very lost about it, but
maybe you inspired them. Did you think about it?
No, I
don't. So were you brought up religiously?
No.
No, not at all.
No.
So that had no bearing on.
No.
I guess. Well, gender norms aren't really always taught. Is that what you were saying when you were saying that you were told?
It was like if
not queer things.
Yeah, like if you were to be queer, it had to be a specific way. Like when I did first come out, like I was a freshman in college, so I stayed home for this summer after that, and it's kind of like around then I started to wear like some men's clothes and stuff, and my mom was like, "What's this about?" Like, this better not go any further than this T-shirt is basically what it was.
If I see another fitted cap in here, I'm gonna probably throw a fit.
So there was like that, and then like I had friends who, when I came out, they're like, "Okay, cool, but like don't ever cut your hair." And I was like, "Okay," like what? And at the time I was also like, "Yeah, I would never do that. That's fucking weird." So like,
but you were coming out as trans.
No, at that time I was just gay.
Gay. Okay.
Yeah.
So that seems to be, I guess, a common transition.
Stepping stone.
Yeah. Transition seemed to be a weird word to use there.
Yeah.
But yeah. And back then, because this is what, like 2015, 2014.
Yeah.
Where'd you go to college?
I went to Grand Valley.
Grand Valley. Nice.
Yeah.
Is that what brought you to the Grand Rapids area then?
Yeah.
Nice. But back then, there wasn't a lot of conversation about gender fluidity. I mean, as much as there is now.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But
I think there was online, but I wasn't aware of it.
So you did, I guess, in your stepping stones, overstep the gender non-binary identity, if you ever did feel that way, or did you?
I identified as non-binary for like a hot sec, but it wasn't
for a quick sec, just to seem trendy. But
no, there was
I
definitely
missed the
like
online game.
I was confused, and so like, but I also wasn't spending too much time thinking about it, and so like, if it came up, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm non-binary, and then that was it. It wasn't like a thing I thought about a lot, or even like, I don't know. Whereas now, like once I realized like I'm fully male, like. It's not. I don't know how to explain it. Like it's been at the forefront of my life for a long time now.
Right.
But with that, it wasn't like a big deal, I guess.
Yeah. In the beginning, it was it was more of a realization. Do you think you came to at that
Yeah.
point?
Yeah.
Or that you were starting to come to?
Yeah. But I definitely just like, I don't know. I don't know why I like put it off in my head for a long time. I mean, it's scary, you know?
Right. And I
So-
mean, life also has its own,
Yeah.
like, with dealing with inner self,
Mhm.
any kind of workings or any kind of transformation you want to make or you're thinking about making, you also have everything that life is doing.
Whatever's going on already.
Right.
Yeah.
Sports, school, work,
Yeah.
things like that. Did you play any sports growing up?
Yeah, I played soccer and basketball, and I might have been a cheerleader for like 10 years.
Oh, for like 10 years. But I wasn't questioning anything then.
Yeah. Oh, I hated it though. Like,
For a decade.
yes, it was like me and my two best friends. We did it, and I liked the competition.
I liked the
I
competition.
liked performing.
Like, that was the drive for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just kept doing it.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It was miserable. Yeah, that was a mistake.
Nice. Now, you do have a very funny joke about looking back at yourself and really realizing your male brain at that point. Do you fondly look back at Mackenzie and
Working on it.
working
I'd
on
say.
it? Yeah.
It's very difficult, especially when it still feels too like fresh, I guess.
Right.
And because like things aren't great with my family, so it's like still very fresh there, so it's like I'm not fully detached from it yet
Right.
because of them.
Because they still hold on to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
because there
it's
hasn't been a
like-
clean transition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
I'm not trying to do it, but
to say the word trans, but it keeps happening.
I'm not trying to, and especially the word transition. I don't know why
I
I'm
know.
harping on that, but I'm noticing every time I say it. Don't worry, I'm uncomfortable. No, I'm just worried about coming off as ignorant
No.
about something I don't know about, and I think that's why a lot of people.
I don't want you to feel that way because like
Yeah.
you got to talk about it to learn. and
Exactly.
I'm a person. There might be other people that would get offended, but I wouldn't.
Can I just imagine you as Asian?
Yeah, where'd we just go?
I don't know, because it's easier for me to talk about race.
Oh, then okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just swap
Yeah.
trans with Asian.
Yes.
So when did I know I was Asian?
So when did you really like feel in your heart that you were Oriental? Wait, we can't say that.
Yeah. All right. 100 Miles is now canceled.
No,
Go
yeah.
watch something else.
I felt uncomfortable in one moment, so I wanted to transition it. Damn it! So I wanted.
Can we
to,
get a count? Can we start?
So I wanted to transfer that discomfort.
That's fine.
Yeah. Anyways, and you started stand-up comedy in
2014.
2014. So after coming out as just gay,
no.
or no, before
I was still straight.
you were still straight. But
The first time around being straight.
it was my first run at being straight, and I was a straight female comedian then.
Yes.
But what made you? Obviously, we have to talk about what got you into comedy, because starting stand-up comedy at like 18 years old is, I mean, I wouldn't have done it, mostly because I was.
Not thinking about it?
No, I was barely thinking about it. My
Yeah.
cousin had said something to me yesterday at my. Doesn't matter. My cousin had said that he wished he had brought me to a George Lopez show in 2014, because he had brought a younger kid and he kind of felt uncomfortable about it. But then I was thinking, if he had brought me, like back then, that would have been my first
Show.
live show, and then maybe that would have, because I'd already had a love for stand-up comedy, like growing up
Yeah.
in like middle school and high school, but like fresh out of high school, if I would have seen something then, it could have
Maybe you would
actually
have. Yeah.
woken something. So who were you watching growing up or listening to that actually got you like, oh, this is stand-up comedy? Because to dive into it at such a young age, you have to be have some influence.
It was. Here's the thing. Whenever we're around other comedians, stuff, everybody's talking about like all these people, and I don't get most of the references. I don't know I didn't grow up watching stand-up. Like,
Right.
it was not even a thing I knew about or understood. I've always been like, I'm going to watch cartoons, and I'm good with that.
Right.
So, the first time I got into anything like that was I started watching Chelsea Lately with my cousin. And so then I got interested in the writers, and I was like, oh, I want to write for a show like this. That'd
Okay.
be so, yeah, like, that was like my dream for a bit. And then I realized
that's usually the reverse order, because a lot of stand-up comedians realize once they get into like the swing of
They need more money.
writing, they need more money, but also they like the writing. Some people more than the performing.
Yeah, I've always loved writing. Like, that's what even before I knew about any of this or whatever, like, I always just like wrote at school instead of participating. So I learned about Chelsea Lately, though, and then I looked into the writers and realized they were basically all stand-ups.
Right.
And then I think, like, the winter before I graduated high school, I came to Grand Rapids to see Jen Kirkman.
Love Jen Kirkman.
So that was the first person I saw. And then I went back to school, and I just binged her podcast, like, dreaming of the day where I could be doing things like that.
I have to say I had a similar dream of watching Drunk History.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do stand-up, like, after watching that and, like, listening to Mark Maron and, like, listening to Journeys. But watching that show and seeing all of the stand-ups on that, I wanted to start a career soon enough.
Yeah. To be able to be on that?
To be able to
I wanted to write for Chelsea Lately so bad.
Exactly. So both of our dreams were crushed.
Yeah. Yeah.
With the cancellation of television shows. But also, so you were watching Chelsea Lately. It was at early high school. I only know it. Was it on Netflix?
Chelsea Lately? No,
Was
it was
actual
on
TV? I didn't watch
E-Network.
it. Okay. Now that you say that, I got a vague memory of seeing it.
I remember the last
guide.
episode that aired. I had like taped it at my mom's house, and I was like so sad but so excited to watch it.
Right.
And that was like, that was a whole event for me.
And I know a lot of stand-up comedians like got their start like being on panel there and as writers. Now, once you realized that they were all stand-up comedians, did you look into, because I know you saw Jen Kirkman, but did you look into like the stand-ups in any material that the writers were producing, I guess, any albums or any notable names?
Not really. I feel like it took me a little while. I don't know. It's just always been like I don't know how to explain it. It's just like the way my brain works is like once I learn about one thing, that's good for me for a really long time, and I won't look into anything else.
Right.
So it was kind of like that. But I feel like Netflix has really expanded what I watch of comedy. But that's like I didn't do a lot of.
It's put comedy in front of you.
Yeah.
It's like actually put it on a platter and it made it accessible, because before it wasn't super accessible.
Yeah.
You did have to pay for a lot of comedy, and that's not things that young people do.
No.
We don't pay for. So I got most of my like stand-up specials and stuff in college. Like Aziz Ansari had released that live at Madison Square Garden, but I loved Aziz Ansari all through high school and stuff too. But are there any comedians now that you hear that kind of inspire you or that you just dig?
I'd say like
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
I wanted to say something about him, but that's fine. So I don't know. I don't have like ones that specifically inspire. Like whatever I've listened to most recently is what's inspiring how I'm writing.
What you're doing.
Kinda. Yeah. And it may not even like. I might not even like use their style or anything, but it just like gets me thinking.
Exactly. And I think that's what other comedians should be used as for inspiration. Used for as inspiration, whatever. But because you want to just inspire thoughts, you don't want to
copy.
Yeah, Jack style or anything like that. And I think the mark of a good comedian is to inspire other comedians and make them, it's to inspire thought as well.
Yeah.
And whatever, laughter is cool. But to inspire thought and to inspire other comedy, I think is a great mark of another comedian. Like, who'd you listen to last? I was just gonna say
I've been listening to this podcast. They don't have new episodes anymore. It was Cameron Esposito's live show at UCB that they would record and then they put it out as a podcast. And so it has like 4 different comedians on each episode. So I've been listening to that, and it's like people that I've never heard of, and I'm like, oh, they're really good. And so like I want to look into them and stuff. Other than that, I just really like female comedians, which I don't know. Everybody always talks about their favorite comedians on Facebook and shit. People are always posting about it, and it's always like some old white guy, and I don't even know who they are.
Right.
And sometimes it makes me feel
Someone
a little
who's damn near retired or dead. A lot of them are dead. Yeah. So
sometimes,
be more recent, pussies. Sorry.
It makes me feel insecure sometimes though, because I'm like, I look at all of my guy comedian friends, and they like, you guys, they all like the same group of like male comedians. I don't know.
Right.
And so I'm like, I don't even know who most of these people are. And then I like all of these like female comedians, but at the same time, I'm like, but then I look at John Mulaney, I'm like, I guess I can't really feel insecure.
See, all right, female comedians. I love Jen Kirkman. Not a huge fan of Eliza, but
Okay, so she used to be my favorite.
Okay.
I met her. I got like her signature and everything. But she just kept doing the same thing. Okay. No, I had her sign a check to me. So, I don't know. She just kept doing the same thing, and then I was like, I get it. But, I really like Katherine Ryan. She's one of my favorites.
I like Kathleen Madigan.
She's very funny.
You were gonna say
no, but I do like her. I used to listen to her a lot.
Christine, have you listened to or watched any of Christina P's stand-up?
Yes. I don't not like it, but it doesn't do much for me.
Yeah.
So
doing a lot for me. I don't know. Now it makes me question what you want from your female comedians.
I like it to be weird.
It was
I
just
like
the
it.
phrasing. It just doesn't do much for me. I was like, what are you looking for?
More attractive. No.
That sounds about right.
Do you want to get really toxically masculine?
Have you been looking for a safe space?
Yes,
for
actually.
this toxic masculinity. No, I don't, because my girlfriend is still here.
Haley, can you leave for a second? Jesus Christ.
Totally kidding.
Okay.
No, let's go back. Tig Notaro and obviously Maria Bamford are legendary.
See, I don't really.
And you're like, yeah, no, fuck them.
I'm trying to think of.
You're just searching for off the grid now.
Not really. I like I always forget her name. Taylor Tomlinson. Yeah.
Love Taylor Tomlinson.
Her, Katherine Ryan. There's someone that I'm forgetting that's like my favorite, so that's good. I really care about them, obviously.
I have 3 in these because you brought up Taylor Tomlinson. Do you know Annie Letterman? Have you watched any of her? I think she's pretty good. Esther Pavitsky.
No.
Hot for Her Name was her Comedy Central special. Pretty decent. Whitney Cummings.
I do like her.
Okay.
Yeah. Also a little controversial because people don't think it was a real album, but Jenny Slate's most so good. I don't care what people say.
I love Jenny Slate.
Yeah. Same.
I love her more for sketch, I think, or just
anything.
Yeah.
I listened to her book. It was really
watching
good.
her, but her
She's
voice
hilarious.
is
Yeah.
Her voice is we're really descriptive here. We know adjectives.
Okay, but people understand what we're saying.
Yeah. Did you watch the Kroll Show at all?
No.
Kroll Show is some of my favorite Jenny Slate. And I suggest you check it out. Very funny. 3 seasons.
Is it on anything? Do you want to plug it for them?
Nope. I won't unless Nick Kroll calls me himself.
Okay.
Any Jew. Speaking of Nick Kroll. No. So are you Jewish? No. So you started stand-up comedy in 2014. Where was your first open mic?
A place that does not exist anymore. It was
as they go.
As yes.
It will continue to
happen. It was
happen.
the place right next to Mulligan's, though. It was the Easttown Sports Bar.
Okay. Well, that place still exists.
Yes, but the
open
mic does
doesn't.
not.
What did that mic move? Or
No, it
No.
just was gone.
Who was the host of that?
I don't even know if you know who they are.
Probably right, but you can go ahead.
Scott Ryan?
Nope. No clue.
No. This is bad now. I just forgot his name, and I really should not. Tyler Charles. There we
Tyler
go.
Charles just added me on Facebook.
There you go. That was him. It's called East Town Clowns.
East Town Clowns.
Yeah.
And what got you? How did you get introduced to the scene? I guess. How did you hear about the open mic? Or was it just
I
hanging
Googled,
Nice.
and then a Facebook page came up.
Was it the
and
MCN page or?
No, it was like their page,
Oh, okay.
and then I like messaged them. But I had no idea how any of it worked. I went to that. I became friends with Tyler. Because I moved here the summer before I started college, so I just lived in a little studio apartment all by myself. I had no friends. I had no job.
What made you get out of town so early?
I wanted to start stand up. That was
Really?
it. Yeah.
So you saw a show right before you graduated, and like that kickstarted.
Yeah.
So you're like right after high school.
I
out
just-
here
yeah.
doing stand up. That's
left.
drive.
Well, sure, but also I then went like 2 years without doing anything. So like,
So you did it that once and then didn't do shit.
well,
Or-
I continued doing it while I was in college, but then realizing you're gay takes up a lot of your life. So
right. Like I said, life
yeah.
happens, and you have these internal things.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a lot to balance.
yeah, and then I like got a girlfriend and moved to be with her just to be dumped. So that
And realizing you're gay also comes with those like
Yeah.
new relationship
yeah,
struggles.
yeah. So that was that took up all of my time.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah. A dead end relationship will
Yes.
take up some time.
For sure.
Turning around, getting back to that main road.
Yep.
So when did you actually kind of dedicate yourself to
It was
comedy?
like September. I want to say 2018.
I thought you were gonna say just this past
No.
September in quarantine.
No, it's been like 2 years now.
Nice.
I was like, all right, we have to stop with the bullshit and actually get to it.
For 4 years of on and off bullshit.
Yeah. That's
You-
what I'm saying. It's like, sure, I started young, but like,
I wasn't doing much.
Yeah.
After now, do you think you actually like profited anything though from that? Because were you doing much in that 4 years? at
I'd
all?
say I learned some stuff. When I did come back, even though I didn't remember any of the comedians around here, they remembered me, so that at least helped. And I'm sure, I mean, any time you spend working on something is going to add something. But at the same time, all of my early jokes were about being a straight woman. So, like,
So it's not relatable to me.
no, I can't. And so
Doesn't feel
that
right
that
coming
was a
out.
chapter, and then there was being a gay woman, and so then it's just like, just scrap it all, and we're
No, you can just rework it. I think you can.
there's a
Especially
lot.
If you just actually just switch around just some words.
Some words, yeah.
And
It would-
take from your straight white.
I will still talk about sucking dick. It's fine.
Just don't question me about what I do
Yeah.
in my off time.
Exactly.
It's my free time.
That's great.
Your sexual orientation doesn't count to free time.
It's a character that I'm playing.
I'm an actor now. I've gotten to the biz.
Yeah.
Do you have any? I know you want to be do you still want to be that writer? Do you still have those aspirations?
Kind of, but I like writing more than performing, I'd say. But I don't think I want to write for like a talk show anymore.
Right.
I think it would be miserable and kind of boring.
Yeah.
But I do really like animated shows, and I think I'd
Okay.
like to write for an animated show.
Like adult animated or even
Yeah,
kids or
like Bob's Burgers Lane,
Right.
that area.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that seems. I was gonna say that seems something that has longevity.
Yes.
I was gonna say that because I was gonna find a better word for that. Is what I was gonna say. But because people are always looking for humor is one thing, and adult humor seems to always be kind of
Yeah.
always thriving.
I mean, talk shows, I'm sure they're always going to exist, but I feel like the platform's going to be changing a lot
with quarantine, I think a lot of them took a dip. Like,
yeah.
not having a live studio audience or just being alone with no laugh track or anything, and a lot of them not having guests in-house. It's just weird. Zoom
Yeah.
freaked me
It doesn't.
out. I don't like it.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
No.
And it's missing that one-on-one interaction that, like, people share a rapport
Yeah.
when they're together.
I think this might be the new talk show.
Yeah, well, podcasts are.
Yeah.
And if Where's This Going becomes a new talk show, then I'm happy to be at the helm.
If I can be a writer, even though
this.
I know I just said I don't want to do that, but if it pays, it's fine.
I'll be a writer for the new talk show. New age. But do you have any other show business aspirations?
Not really. I think what I've realized throughout this whole quarantine is that I don't know. I'm coming out of a bad place, I guess. Too much pressure on myself, that's for sure. So I'm realizing now, like, okay, are my bills paid? Am I getting to do what I'm passionate about and makes me happy? If
Right.
those two are checked off the list, it's whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of like a hierarchy of needs at this point. We
Yeah.
have to build our own hierarchy.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that people, for some reason, don't prescribe to or subscribe to, whatever kind of description you're looking
Both.
for. But just setting it's all about prioritizing life and prioritizing your wants and needs. And if they can align, that's
Yeah.
ideal.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking for mainly, is just to support my family, meaning myself, my son, and my girlfriend, and her cats or whatever. But keep a roof over our heads, try to be as creative as I can, and hope that will pay
Turn
off.
into something.
Yeah. But until then, I'll work a job that I'm not like
Don't
totally
love,
passionate
but
about,
it's like,
but it's paying bills.
and you get to be here doing this. So it's-
Exactly. It gives me the
what else?
time.
Yeah.
Something that's catering to our passions.
Yep.
Have you found a job that for now is catering to those passions? Or wait, this is
Allowing me.
This is new though, because once things open up, we don't know if our professions are going to be catered.
Intact.
Yeah. Well, I mean, do you work a job that's conducive to an open mic schedule?
Yeah. I mean, I'm usually out.
Yeah,
at
you're
a decent time.
decent.
You.
Unless it was like peak time, like
I don't know. Amazon's fucking weird.
yeah.
But now we're like starting earlier and earlier because my company's been around longer, so we get like the better times.
There you
So, it's really not like an issue anymore.
But with starting earlier, are you ever worried about staying out late?
Sometimes
Because that's my biggest worry is I start work at 5
I know
a.m.
what time I'm gonna get home and this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're just dreading how much sleep you're not gonna have.
Yeah. I feel like I've kind of figured out that, like, if I'm in bed by midnight, that's fine. And I feel like most times shows usually start 8 or 9. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
even if I have to leave early, it's whatever.
Yeah. Unless I'm hosting a show, which
Yeah.
even then, right after the show's done, if people,
Yeah.
you can just dip.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing I am gonna miss is the hang.
Yeah. It does suck those nights where you're like, oh, everyone's going to a different bar now and I have to just
Right.
go home.
Yeah. I think that's been the biggest thing I've missed over this whole not doing shows is the hang. And then those shows that we were doing when things were open, the hang felt guilty.
Yeah. It felt like
You didn't want to.
Yeah.
You didn't want to invite people over for a hang. You couldn't go to another bar for a hang, but you still wanted all the peeps. You wanted things to feel normal.
Yeah. And I mean, I definitely hung out with some people. We hung out a few times and stuff, but I think if you're either way, no matter what I did through this, it was still way less than I would have done.
Right.
And I was only seeing the same people that I had already been seeing.
Exactly. And if I didn't have, I was telling someone else this because he had a lot of health issues during all of this too, like independent of COVID.
Yeah.
But he hasn't seen anyone basically in almost a year because that's what this is.
Yeah.
Like besides his family, he hasn't seen anyone in almost a year. And thank God I have a close group
Where
of
you
people.
can, yeah.
Yeah. And besides that, would have just been kind of cooped up in just your home, which I think, like, I like the people in my house, but
Yeah. I mean, I've definitely realized how much I love just being home, and it's been difficult to convince myself to
Right.
go places.
I think that's something that a lot of people needed. Because I
Yeah.
know I was someone definitely always on the go, and I still, like, getting back into things am almost always on the go, but I did have to sit at home for 2 weeks because of COVID.
yeah.
Because I got it. Not because I was always on the go, but because I have a kid, and kids are dirty. But
Dude, wash your kid.
dude, wash your kid. I should have told his mom that. Hey, before you give him back, wash him, please. But, like, having to sit at home for 2 weeks does it. Well, you're forced.
Yeah.
You're forced to take things slow, and that's something that I wasn't used to. And I'm trying to get back into that more, because as soon as I was able to, I was, like, up and moving again. Because I think it's the being knocked down that we're all dealing with that's causing some people to, be stir crazy and stuff. So just deal with being locked up, dog.
I feel like I'm a little anxious about things starting back up, because I'm like, I could use a little more time. I could really, I don't know. It's been nice, and I don't feel fully stable enough. I don't know. Like, my moods,
What
my
do you think's-
anxiety, it
Okay.
like, some days I'm good, but like when I feel good, it's very like one little thing could fuck this up. Like this could all just tank, and
I'm good, but I know it could change.
yes, like in an instant.
Right.
And so it's like I would like to have more time to work on that, to feel more like stable and like
Just to present yourself to the world? Or...
yeah, and like especially to get back into comedy, because
Okay.
that can, how a set or a show, like it can really affect
can really
you.
fuck with you.
Yeah, and so I'd like to feel just more confident in my mental health before getting fully back into things.
So you're willing to put the rest of the world on hold so you can work
Yes,
on your mental health?
I'm
Okay.
having a super spreader party this upcoming weekend.
Wait, it is Super Bowl, so
I mean
tonight
today.
at my no, but I definitely understand that a lot of people are not done with this mental break because so many people have been.
Yeah, I don't want people to be like. Everybody was all like mental health, and I don't want, as soon as things to start back up, to people be like, oh fuck all of that, because as
fuck
soon
all
as
that mental health shit.
As soon as one person puts the pressure on everybody to get back to like the pace they were at, then everybody follows, because they get nervous about not following in those footsteps.
Right.
And that's something that I don't want to allow myself to like do as well.
Yeah, to be able to set your boundaries.
Yeah.
And
Know what I need and not feel the pressure because I see somebody else doing something.
right. And now, do you think that just extends to work and productivity, or just in lifestyle and what you see in
overall?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like we're just such an unhealthy. I hate the word society, but
I hate our society, but I know what you mean. But it can happen in whatever small community or large community you're a part of. You see other people doing things or getting things or being praised for things, and
you want those things because you see it. But it's like, do I really?
Do I need it?
Yeah.
Is that my lane? Is that something I should be aiming for?
And
right.
It's hard. I think like one of the hardest things is sometimes I don't, but it's hard to accept that because there's always like this battle, I guess, that I'm facing of like being content with where I'm at instead of trying to, like the get rich quick stuff because I
Right.
hate my job.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, if I could just make this one thing work, if I could put all of my energy and time into this and then like not have to do this job.
Right.
But it's like
I've like looked up trying to be like a freelance writer to steal that note from you, but to do that instead of working a job, I've looked into things that I could do that I'm passionate about that could that could make up for the money that I would be losing by quitting a job, because that's something I'm not passionate about. And right now, I ain't got the numbers.
Yeah.
But once that's something that I'm able to do, I wholeheartedly plan on it.
Yeah.
Like, because I think that's all our goal is to, I think I've said this almost every podcast. It's to make a living off of something you're passionate about.
Yeah.
And that way you can live your passion
not have
every
to
day.
get up and go do the thing that is taking your time and energy away from
Exactly. Yeah, to wholly dedicate your life to your living and that being your passion. So would then your passion be stand-up? You think that's your route overall?
Yeah, I like stand up and then like some other writing thing. Like I'd be content with that. But it is like the whole get rich quick plays into it too though, because like sometimes I just change lanes way too often because it's like when you're not doing something, it seems like it'd be so much easier to succeed in than when you're actually doing it.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, do I just buckle down, I do this job, I do stand-up, and I just wait for it to pay off? Or do I take time away from stand-up to, like, I've dabbled in, like, satirical online writing.
Right.
Like, stuff like that. So it's like, it's just hard to know what to do, where to put your time and energy, and what's going to get you where you want to be.
Right.
But you also can't keep changing because then you're just also wasting time.
Exactly. Because then you're 4 years later and you had straight
five
white
things started.
Yeah, you had straight white female comedy that now no longer is relative
so you gotta,
to you.
Look, you might be gay, you might be trans.
You change
just
lanes
can't.
too quick.
You can't.
Yeah, you just got to stay in your
Yeah.
lane. No.
Don't make my mistakes.
Don't let my wasted jokes
Yeah.
be your career.
Yeah. Exactly. But if you want to buy them,
please, you can. If you're a straight white female starting out or a gay white female starting
either
out,
one.
and you think you could match with this creative brain.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're still trying to make a quick buck.
Exactly.
no matter what, we're just trying to get out of going to work.
If I was like, I was so much better at writing straight female jokes. I'm just gonna start doing that, and
I'm just gonna
put
start
them up. It's gonna be on my Etsy. You can buy.
It's on my OnlyFans.
Yeah.
You can have my jokes on my OnlyFans, but you can just say them.
Yeah.
Now, would you ever ghostwrite for? Because I know you would. You would write. Would you write for a talk show if presented the opportunity?
I'd have a hard time saying no.
Right, because it's money for writing. Now, where the fuck was I just going for that? Oh, would you ever ghostwrite for another comedian or rapper?
Oh, I would for sure for a rapper.
Now, would you be Lil Wayne's ghostwriter?
Oh, God.
Just fresh out of
maybe, because then maybe I would like him more. Because I just, I love rap. It is my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes the lyrics make me want to be like, well, how?
And this is just playing everywhere? Why?
I
understand.
I get really frustrated and heated about it.
As a writer, I cannot stand it. But would you ever ghostwrite for another comedian?
I mean, yeah, but I don't think I'd be good at it.
Just because it's not your perspective?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? You have a style, you have a way you like to say things, and I don't think I'd be good at matching somebody else's.
Right. But I think joining a team of writers is essentially the same thing. But unless you were just like, all right, you were my puppet basically for these jokes. But I wonder why more relationships don't work out like that. Like, I'm a writer and you are my puppet for these jokes.
I don't know.
Instead of I'm a puppet and I need a writer for something to say. Because for some reason, it's always the opposite way.
Yeah.
Like, it's people who had a little to say for some
and now need more help.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I got to back this up. I got gained some kind of following for some reason. It is interesting. It is a weird question.
I don't know how I would do with it. But I also, I'm trying to get more okay with like working in a group setting because I like to be controlling everything.
I know how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, why do you think that is?
Because I know how I want it and I think I could do it better.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's I think a flaw of a detail-oriented person is they are very focused on the details.
Yeah.
And
when you could be using all of that energy on one thing and make that thing great.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that's where what's it called when you
You give tasks away.
yes. Yo, see, you're in the same boat. Oh crap. Delegate. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's where delegation comes
Yeah.
into hand. Comes in handy or whatever. Comes in a hand job. What's our time at? 87? Oh, I was like, what the fuck? So
We
First
got
time I
here
asked.
yesterday.
shit. So with things opening back up, and by the time we air this, things will have opened up. I think maybe, hopefully, a little bit more.
Yeah.
Honestly, but are you getting back into shows as things are opening up a little bit?
Yeah, I have some shows. Well, I don't know about next month, so I have no idea.
Here in February, here in the past,
If you find this, if you leak this,
if we'll leak this clip. Go ahead.
the Comedy Project and
Oh, that's right.
and your show with Carl.
Yeah, when are you doing the comedy project?
I just did it this week and then the end of the month as well.
Nice. I shoot, I'm at the comedy project March 8th or 7th, something like that, early March. So maybe the week this comes out. But I'm at the comedy project.
Go see Hunter.
See
This
me.
is him now plugging his
Yep,
things.
I was trying to plug Kian, but now it's about me. No, we'll be at the comedy project. I think it's Carl, Kate, and Abby
Nice.
and I doing some improv. It's mostly improv. Stand-up. Improv stand-up. We are doing stand-up.
Oh,
Improved.
but it's
yeah.
okay.
I don't know
gotcha.
how to say it, but
Yeah.
it's supposed to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. And are you doing JBs this month at all?
Yeah, I don't know when. I'd have to look that up.
Okay, sorry. You don't look up your dates before you come to a show. You're supposed to be promoting things.
I can ask my assistant. He's in the other room over there.
I brought him with me. That's actually, I think that's both of our assistants.
Okay.
I mean,
You're paying him for both of us, though. I'm not.
well, then neither of us are paying him.
Okay.
So you have to take that blame. We share it evenly. Are you?
I'm just loving that. He's my assistant, and it's Black History Month, and I'm not paying him.
Also, did we address the fact that your act of kindness during Black History Month
Is this show?
is to come on my show?
Yeah.
Only this won't be aired during February, Black History Month.
Yeah.
So, sorry about it.
You'll know in your heart, though.
Me?
Yes.
Okay.
That I did this.
That I did this for all of you. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I did this to help out an entire race. You're gonna get so many more views now, and it's
You know
like,
what? Just for that, I'll air this in June. Is that okay?
No, I actually don't support Pride Month.
Oh.
So. Well, no, this is awkward.
No, I was going to ask because I did feel uneasy going into that June comment because I didn't know if there was a different month. Now,
Wait, what?
It's all so Pride Month is just is LG.
Always June? Is that what
I'm
you're asking?
No, I was saying is Pride all of the LGBTQIA community. I didn't know if
Yeah.
it was just gays.
There's also like a trans week though. and,
In
like,
June or
No, I honestly don't know when it is. I feel like it happened recently.
Seems like you're taking up a lot of time in the calendar. You got a whole
right.
month and then you're going
All
for a
right.
week.
All right. I'll give you one of the days.
I'm just saying we took 28 days
Just
and we
be
were like,
trans.
all right,
That's all
fine.
you have to do.
So if I be
You could have
trans,
2 months and a week.
I'm just looking for more time and appreciation. here.
Exactly.
Beautiful. So I have been asking people their favorite jokes from a recent special they watched, but
Oh boy, yeah, no.
yeah, exactly. I won't. We already went through that. I do want to ask you what your ultimate goal is, not career-wise, but what your ultimate goal is for your comedy. I guess, what are you trying to say? What are you trying to do with what you're doing?
I guess, okay, two things. One, my whole goal, even before I started, like, performing at all, was, like, I liked the idea of someone hearing my joke and thinking, what? Like, that was it. Like, I just...
That's the only thought you wanted to
yes,
inspire was
I just want them to be like, wait,
Yes.
I've never thought about this. Does it make sense? Yes, but also just what? Like, that's... I like that. And then it's become over time more so, like... I want people to learn about queer shit, and that's
right.
basically it.
And if you can be that voice or that platform for them to learn, hell yeah.
And, you know, if it can give me a leg up on other straight white guys, that's...
Because all I'm looking for is just a little more privilege.
A little, yeah,
that's
exactly.
One day, all of the queers will exceed the straight white male.
They will be the minority. And then
I think that's actually, we're closely coming to that fact. Do you think that's where
you can't let them know.
Do you think that's where the animosity comes from? That's why
that's where my animosity comes from. I'm trans, but I also hate myself because I'm a straight white male. So it's like
this whole self-loathing pattern.
Yeah.
Kian, thank you for coming on this
Thanks,
show.
sir.
And I'm sorry if this was weird.
It wasn't.
Okay, cool. I've had Haley in my ear this whole time, and she's just made me feel uncomfortable. If anything, if I can teach you anything as a straight white male, it's always blame your female counterpart.
I'll think about it.
Okay. It's not great advice, but it's worked for a lot of us, huh? All right. You can follow Kian. I didn't say this at the beginning. Funk. You can follow Kian on Twitter and Instagram. Are they the same?
Yeah.
At Kian Straub.
Yes.
Just your name. KIANSTRAUB. Nice. Yep. Well, but not everyone watches it. Some people listen.
Thank you for having my back.
Of course. Okay. Of course. Yeah, okay. We had 8 downloads last week. So
I'll be watching my follows.
We had 200 and something views on our YouTube, but that also took away from our listeners, so that didn't make it was kind of an uneven trade.
Yeah.
But why are we getting into the statistics?
I just want to say one last thing. Hunter
please.
does support toxic masculinity. It's an issue, but we're working on it. It'll be fun.
Yeah, we're all changing. We're all
we're all
transforming.
trans. Okay.
Okay. And thank you so much for coming in, Kian. And you can follow, like I said, the podcast at Where Is This Going Pod on Instagram, Where Is This GoPo on Twitter, and you can email us at whereisthisgoingpod@gmail.com. And we're probably going to cut this one up a little bit. This will be our first edited episode in a minute.
I feel offended.
No, just because I suck. So it's just going to be chopped around a little bit. Anyways, thank you guys for listening. Love ya. Please listen again.
Hell yeah.
And enjoy this song. Wait. Oh, fucking A. And we have Kian's clip for you. You can follow Kian on TikTok, right?
You can, but sure.
What's your TikTok account?
Probably Kian Straub. I don't know.
Probably also Kian Straub. But enjoy this clip from Kian. And then our new outro music if you haven't been enjoying it the last 2 weeks. Okay, bye.
You guys have been trying to be a better queer person lately? Anybody else? Is it just bullshit? No, that doesn't suffice. It's gay. Every time I go there, I'm like, can I get one vanilla? No, it's down. Who hurt you? Why? It's like there's no way it's broke every time, you know? And like, if it is, you're McDonald's, get a better machine. Or at least update your hours. So I don't drive there just to be disappointed, you know? Like 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. open, 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. gay.